My name is Angela. I own All Hands Pottery Studio, and I have for the last 5 years. I didn't set out to do this. I actually was in the Navy for 26 years, and I think my last graded art class was 6th grade. So what happened for me was in 2010, I got sent on a crappy deployment to Iraq, and I came back at a really low spot in all of my mental health. My well-being was not in a good spot. And so I was kind of sick of being there, and the way I chose to move out of that space is I decided that if I ever said the words, I've always wanted to do that, I've always wanted to try that, I've always wanted to go there, that I would do it, even if I had to go by myself. And the first thing that came along was a pottery class. So I took it, and it changed my life. I continued on. I was a hobby potter for a long time. Things just the universe sort of just clicked together, and I found myself retired from the Navy in 2017. I had a nice cushy job on base. And my friend had decided to start her own business. And I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. And about a month after I was talking to her about her business and how she started and why she started and all the things that she had to do in order to get the business, she called me up and said, "Hey, Ann, my business partner is a military spouse, and the family just got unexpected orders out of the area. And my business model doesn't work with just me in this space. I need a roommate. Ever thought about having your own business?" And I went, "Oh, always wanted to do that." So I stepped forward with 4 pottery wheels and a table, and my whole business model was I want my pottery to pay for itself. I had no intentions of quitting that day job. I thought it was just going to be a side hustle thing. And then I put a shingle ad on Facebook and said, "Hey, y'all, I'm teaching some lessons. Is anybody interested?" It went bananas, super bananas. And it got to the point I was working 40 hours a week on base and 40 to 60 hours a week in the studio. My husband sat me down and he's like, "Listen, you're supposed to be tired, but you're burning yourself out." And he said, "I don't want to see it. I don't care which one you choose. Please just choose one thing." So I quit the job on base. And that was by far and away the hardest thing I have ever done to date. I felt like I was jumping off a cliff. But fortunately for me, I have a really good support system. And every 3 months, I would take over more of the studio until eventually I have the entire space. I have the space 2 doors down. I now have 8 employees, 4 contractors. And this is not where I thought I would be 5 years ago. But here I am. So a big part of that was learning all of the stuff that nobody teaches you. I mean, there's no classes in the Navy about becoming a business owner. So I didn't know anything about advertising or marketing or accounting or any of that stuff. I just knew about pottery. And it was so overwhelming. And I learned a lot from YouTube, right? But YouTube isn't good enough, and you have to bring other people into your business because you can't do it alone. And first person I brought in was accountant. The second person I brought in was Misty Saves the Day. Because I don't know, I'm not a social media person. I'm not an influencer type, and I didn't understand it. I didn't understand Instagram at all. And then I had a conversation. We have a mutual friend, and she suggested Misty. I had a meeting with Misty, and she talked to me about what it is that I wanted for my business, and explained to me how I could make social media work for us. And it has in spades, because I have not spent any money on advertising at all, except for what I pay Misty to do what they do. So we're really excited to celebrate our 5-year anniversary. But the thing is like, as you go through business, it's constantly changing. You know, you start out and you're putting all the foundation down. But then as you continue on, everything changes, and you change your point of view and what you need for the business. And it's been great having Misty there to help me figure out what it is that I need to focus on, and allow them to take things off my plate so I don't have to focus on certain parts.